Welcome to my comparison video between all these cool ATTE designs. This video is going to be checking which one suits the best for you, not which one is the best value, which one is going to be the best one in 2026 and on, and which one is the coolest, has the most play features. It all doesn't matter, it all is going to be mattering on which one will suit you the best. During this review I won't be able to show you the side builds because I'm missing the step currently. I do have it in my collection, it's just not built, so I just removed all these side builds. This is purely looked at the ATTE's designs and its minifigures. Starting off with the first one, we do have the Clone Wars ATTE. This is set number 7675, released in 2008, and its age recommendation is 9 to 14 years old. It came with 798 pieces, 6 minifigures, and retailed back in the day for £69.99 or $89.99 or €69.99, and currently and the lowest point in the Netherlands where I'm living is the lowest price that have been found is €55. That is inflated to £108, $135. Current price new condition, and I assume that is in box sealed condition, is $442 starting, and the used price is roughly around €174 starting. Of course, this one came with Ahsoka, it came with Anakin, both in Clone Wars animated style. It came with the Phase 1 Captain Rex, it came with a Phase 1 Clone Trooper, a standard one, and a B1 Battle Droid, and the small baby Rota the Hutt from the Clone Wars TV show that we see in the Mandalorian movie. Going over to the center one, this is the ATTE from BrickVault. This one has been created by Bousker, so it doesn't have a set number, so I'll just say set number is custom. The release is in 2022 by Bousker. That's when he announced it on Instagram that it is complete and the instructions are available on a different site. And around 2024, BrickVault bought the instructions and the rights to sell this on forwards. So if you want to find this one, you can buy it on BrickVault. The age restriction is unknown, but when I count my build experience in, I probably would say years 16 and up. But if you want to buy the instructions, you have to go on the website from BrickVault themselves, and well, I assume you don't have a credit card if you're under 18. Maybe if you're 16 you could, but else ask your parents for approval for buying instructions and on Bricklaying to get these parts, because the piece count is 2,501 pieces, which is quite heavily compared to the one we just had seen. It comes with 0 minifigures, and the retail value is $29.99 for the instructions. It is BrickVault is American, so there is no euro price or anything like that, so that changes per day. And when I part out in the Netherlands only, it is roughly €425.12 that will be added to this $29.99 for the parts. And it will be divided by 9 stores, so also count the shipping with it, then it roughly is €500. If I select Europe only, and this of course ships to Netherlands, then I will come to €366.75, which is cheaper than Netherlands only. Then I also have 4 stores instead of 9, and that will probably come, well, depending on the shipping from I thought I've seen Estonia and Germany, so I assume 4 stores that it will be around €400 to €450, which could save you €100 or €50 on shipping and on this build. And on the last one we have the most recent ATTE. I call this one the episode 3 ATTE. This one is set number 75337, released in 2022, and it's just discontinued this year, I think, or last year, 2026 or 2025. The age restriction is 9+. It doesn't have a 9 to 14 like the 2008, which was kind of strange. The pieces is 1,082 between the 2008 and the Bousker one. It comes with 8 minifigures. We have the long-awaited Phase 2 Commander Cody. We have 3 to 12 troopers, we have 1 gunner and 3 battle droids. The retail value of this one is £119.99, $139.99, €139.99, and the lowest price seen in the Netherlands was $79.99 for this ATTE, and I was lucky to get one of them, so that made it 3 total for me in my collection, which is kind of insane. Starting off with the 2008 ATTE over here, I have this one since 2008, so don't mind the discoloration. I also have some stickers that are starting to peel off slightly, but I've just recently rebuilt this one. All the figures are in its complete state, which is very nice, but it's not about the figures today, so I will remove these ones and we will purely look at this ATTE build. Starting off, we have these nice 4 ball cannons. Sadly, one of it is kind of rotating and it easily breaks off in my opinion, but nowadays that might be easily fixable by adding the pin more further in. I just follow the instructions, so this is what you get. At the front here, you can open this and then you can actually remove the cockpit out, just like this. And then you have easier access for your minifigure. It only fits 1 minifigure in the cockpit. You can slide it back in and pull it back up. I did have a lot of times where the lid, the front actually got removed because it's only held by 2 hinges. So that is something that is kind of fragile from this build. But for the rest, I must say, this might be one of the sturdiest ones out of these 3. Going to the head cannon, it can go up and down and it can go left and right, which is also very nice. And then going in, we can actually put this upwards on both sides, the back and the front. But let's start at the front first. You can also then rotate the top 90 degrees or a bit further, so you can open it completely, so you have full access. And you can also even lift up this part of the build, and then you can even fold it out if you want to have more space, and you can do that of course on both sides. And then you are greeted with this little kind of interior, 2 extra seats plus an accessory rack, and well, I don't know what the top part is. You can put your imagination into that, what that is going to be representing, but that is your spot on the back. And then over here we see a big black part, and that is actually the most fun of this build. Let me showcase you what it is. So going back to the front, showing the turrets, you can actually lift these parts up so you can actually see what it contains, and you see a big black rubber piece right there. Those are stud shooters. These contain these big stud shooters. You actually have a lever here on the back, which is maybe a bit hard to spot, but if you pull that lever backwards, it actually lifts up this part a tiny bit, and then it shoots out one of these, which is very cool, of course, to see. You have 2, 1 on either side, so that's a very cool play feature and very nostalgic for sure. Going to the center here, you have a built-in carrying handle. People used to modify this part to fit on the LAAT dropship, or the dropship, you know which one it is, the old 2008 one. I don't have that one in my collection, so I'm very jealous if you have one. But then you could also carry this ATTE around in your room. You can easily pick it up. It is very sturdy, very nice build. So that is the carrying handle over there. And then going to the back, you have 2 more ball turrets. Same issue with these, they easily break off, which is kind of sad. They're also very exposed, they're just added to the top. They're on Technic pieces, so they move a little bit. But you can open up the hatch on the back, and that will greet you with 4 more spots for minifigures and kind of the same weird piece. You can actually get this whole build out, as you can see, and you can have easier access to put in your minifigures. And I used to modify this to have a bigger space around the area, but yeah, that's pretty much this 2008 build. Continuing with the 2022, and save the best one for last in my opinion once again. Let's remove the minifigures and let's have a look at this ATTE. First of all, a quick note, I didn't apply any of the stickers that used to come with these stickers, so I didn't apply them because I didn't know how long I would have this one assembled for. But it currently lasted already like 3-4 years, so I assume I would have to apply these stickers. But yeah, just a quick note out for you there that it used to have stickers. Going to the front, you can see these nice 4 ball turrets. These ones are actually perfectly aligned compared to the 2008 where the bottom ones are a bit more out. These ones are nice, all aligned perfectly. These are also a bit more sturdy, so you can move them and it doesn't break, which is very fortunate. In my opinion, the barrel is also better. You can have a look back at the 2008 one. This one has a black top and the 2008 has a light bluish gray top. I think this one is a bit better. Also, the top is, of course, more nicely tiled off and has some slopes being used. We also have a nice little printed element here that is a tiny display for the gunner on top, which doesn't appear to be there for the 2008 one. And we do have stud shooters on the top here, so this one is actually kind of having an extra play feature. Let me shoot against the wall so I won't lose the pieces. Okay, you lose them anyway. One landed on my desk. Okay, we found one out of the two. They come in a transparent green color, so that is the stud shooters for you. Going to the front here, the cockpit area, this opens slightly differently. Instead of opening and tilting it like that, you can actually slide this part out. And that will also reveal the space for one minifigure. But I feel like this is a way better design and it doesn't break as quick compared to the other one. And people also were able to modify this set to actually fit 2 clone troopers, although you don't really see that in the space in here. So I would just recommend you to just leave it as is. Going inside this part over here, you can also rotate it 90 degrees and you cannot lift it up because this piece is in the way. So this is all the space you get. Of course, you can again hold this one and rotate it a bit. So you do have a bit more interior space, but it is a bit more cramped in here. You do have 2, well, seats. These are just the 2x2 tiles. You can actually get this part out. So you have a bit of easier access, but you can see it's just these 2x2 tiles with 2 studs on the side and one is just flat. But this is the kind of the seats that they are being able to use. But you do have a bit of an interior in here, as you could technically pass in here. That it was something fun, in my opinion, that you could use during the build, that it kind of looked like a hallway between the front section and the back, like a connection tube. That also should be represented into the build. You also have some transparent red pieces. One is over here and the other one is there to look like an alarm system or something. I think it looks very cool. And the same can be said on the doors. You also have those transparent red pieces. This one has a bigger carrying handle, and I think if you modify it, you can do the same. It is literally the same thing. It is holding and it is pretty sturdy built as well. You can pose the legs just as much as the 2008 one. Going in here, this is actually a bit more different because now it is attached to the back over here and connected to the back over here. So this part can fold open and this part can also fold open, if I'm not mistaken. That's been a while. I needed to have 2 hands to actually open this. But it does exactly what I said. You can now lift this one down and you can lift this one up. And then you can also open the sides just as the other one, and you do have a bit more interior space in here. This one is stuck, so it's kind of flipped from the 2008 one, but as you can see, you do have a bit more of an interior going on, a few more seats here and there, and it actually kind of looks like a control panel here on the back, but there is no sticker, so maybe there is a sticker that should be in the set. I think it is, but in my set currently there is no sticker on here. But yeah, a bit of a bigger interior, more detailed. So if you want to have a detailed interior, I think this one is the perfect one to go nowadays. Going over to the biggest, most expensive kind of UCS style build, I think you cannot get any better than this. In my opinion, the detailing here on the cockpit is really good. The turrets are fully integrated. As you see, they are flush on both sides. They also are straight. As in like kind of good, well aligned. I think this is more accurate where the outside, the upper one is more outside and the bottom ones are more inside. That is really cool. You have kind of a look of a door. Sadly, this doesn't function. So this is just a design choice and it's kind of hard to build because it's not really as sturdy. I must say this is the most fragile build of all of them. So it is very nice to use in Mocs. It is very nice to use for display, but for play it is definitely not recommended. Going over to the legs, there should be an extra piece in here. This one is really expensive as it only came in the 2000, I think it was 2008 as well, the clone turbo tank with Cat Bane. I did apply it on here, but I just recently assembled the clone turbo tank. I wanted to have the piece back, but this is something I will come back to in a minute. I first want to showcase you all the features and the stuff, so let's start with the front. The ball turrets are sitting very smoothly. You can rotate them just as much as you want. This piece looks a bit loose, but this one is fully stuck and cannot be removed, which is very nice. It does have a nice flush line over here, but like it's kind of going over this line over here. Of course, you have to work with the Lego metric system, so you cannot cover fully everything. Same with this bottom part over here. This is the part that usually falls off in my set the most if I carry it around, especially this one, because it's only held by a 1x1 stud, and therefore it's dropping off quickly. So if you see this piece, you probably know now where that one is from. Plus, the cockpit had some redesigning going. Just again, for your quick information, I used to have this built before it was on BrickVault. So I had the experience of getting his instructions and then swapping it over, testing his instructions a tiny bit before I went to BrickVault. And now we have this one. So I had some cockpit issues and I let him know before. He was working on a rework. So this is the reworked version. But as you can see, it exists of a few pieces. You have the front, you have this center area that is sitting loose, and I'm pretty sure you have a third one. Yeah, so the top right here. So if I rotate the turret, which is something that I want to go next for as well, look at the way how this one is going up. It's kind of diagonal. That's kind of fun. So not to get distracted, the cockpit here, to open it, to access it, you have to put the top off first. And that's also removing a bit of the side in here. Then you can remove this part over here, and then at last you can remove this part out of here. It is connected and held by these two studs over here, and the rest is all being forced by these wall parts. As you can see, they're thinner. The biggest issue I have with that is that these pieces were a bit too thick and were kind of hard to get in. Now by pressing it a few times, now it's actually a bit better, so maybe it's because I didn't press the parts in properly. But yeah, it is definitely something to notice. But the nice part about this design is, as you can see, you have a big open area. You can actually fit one figure in here, you can fit one minifigure in here. It is just very sad that this doesn't come with any minifigures. But yeah, the front part design is very nicely detailed. It has a lot of nice parts usage, nice techniques being used. As you see, you go a bit in an inverted kind of way, which is very interesting. So yeah, that's the front, and well, I will probably need two hands again to fully assemble this. So yeah, quickly showcase you how to assemble it back. So you have this piece, this is the second piece that goes on, and then you have this piece over here. Well, there goes the piece again, so it's kind of hard. This piece goes on top, and then the piece is going to be connected on the bottom, but the hardest part is to get the third piece, the top over here, to get in, because it has to sit underneath this one and on top of this one. So it's kind of a thing that you need two hands for. So yeah, it is very kind of hard to put in. Hopefully I don't think I've pressed it in enough. So let's see if this attempt is gonna be the nice attempt. No. I think if you want to have a minifigure in, put it in once, never touch it again. Or if you don't want a minifigure in, because these windows are tinted, I don't think it needs one, just leave the minifigures, don't put any minifigures in, and it's good to go. Going to the turret, as you see, it is a light bluish gray instead of the black that we have seen and the light bluish gray tip. This one is flipped, so a light bluish gray and a black on the top. It also comes, by the way, with more instructions. I built the one that is fully light bluish gray. You also have one that is with red lines. You can choose which one you want. Of course, you have to buy the parts for it. I just had the light bluish gray one built because I find this one the most appealing, so that's why I kept it this way. So the turret, if we rotate it, we can rotate it on different axes. I don't know if I've applied this correctly. This part is a circle technic part, and this is sitting in with just one pin. I used to have it straight laying down, but it was too fragile, and therefore if I rotated it too much, the actual whole turret came off. So I applied it a bit differently. Hopefully now it stays on a bit more. I can actually rotate it and it stays on. So I think I've kind of fixed it, but let me show you how that actually works. So the top over here, you can just simply remove it. This is just sitting by gravity. And then the issue is here on the bottom. As you can see, it is sitting in with the 1x1s with the clips, and then it's only being held by these inverted plates over here. I've added the 1x2 with the stud in the center, those two pieces, the dark bluish gray ones. I've added those in myself, and it's actually giving a bit more clutch power, and now it's actually sitting and it's not really getting off. So if you have this built, I really recommend looking at this part and strengthen it up. It's kind of easy, and now it's actually sitting in and staying, which is also very nice. As this turret looks really nice detailed, it doesn't have any spring-loaded shooters or play features, so again, it is a build to display, not to play with. And another downside, in my opinion, is the chair. It is only being held by a 1x4, I think, with only the studs on the outside, and therefore, as you see, I slightly touched it, and now this whole piece already comes off. Here's the piece. So it's a 1x4 with the studs on one side and is being held in the center. And if you have a minifigure on here and you want to remove it, you usually take the chair off. Therefore, this piece is losing its clutch power, and then it could be a bit hard to reassemble again. So be aware of that. Now that the top part is open, I can actually show you a bit of the interior over here. And as you can see, we have some chairs on the sides. I must say this one is the most interior space, which is kind of nice, but there is nothing interesting going on. But the techniques being used to build this are insane, guys. Like, as you see, these are Technic pieces. They are going from left to right, and they're going from top to bottom. Then we have some inverted pieces going on this side. I don't want to touch it because it's a bit fragile, but can I remove it? No, I'm not even touching it. I think this is just the way how it is. Don't touch it, leave it like this. So this set doesn't have a carrying handle, so I recommend to put your hand underneath. There are some pieces under there, so I'll show you later where to watch out for and how to grab it properly. But there is a kind of a pin pointing out here because Bousker also has a custom dropship. So this set can actually be attached to Bousker's dropship. I don't know if it can be held by the official 2008 one, if it was 2008, 2009, the other dropship that Lego released, but there is a Technic piece in here, so it probably is possible. And then an extra feature, we do have the legs. Both are built with these Technic gears over here, but if we have a look at the bottom, you can see over here, it's very hard to see because it's a bit dark, but there is a rod over here, and if you rotate this one, these legs, the center legs, actually go up or down, so you can actually put this one on a hill on one side and still keep it sturdy. So that is very cool. Some things should be done with two hands, guys, and this is one of them. I cannot showcase you, but you can move this one up or down, so this part can be more to the bottom or to the top. You can also, of course, just move it around. This is not a stuck part, it is just working fine as the other Lego official sets. Then this whole gear system is moving with it, so it is a very sturdy, very nice build. But yeah, that's enough about the legs. Let's continue to the back. So the back over here also has a hatch, but first I want to look at the ball turrets, and this is the reason why I chose to buy this set and the instructions. Look how good these rear turrets are integrated into the build. This is something that I really love and really miss on the other sets that Lego is doing. If we ever get a UCS set from Lego, please give us this design. This is so good, so perfect. It is, oh, chef's kiss. Thank you, Bousker, for making this design possible. You see also at the back, you have a few details going on here, but of course, that is not all. Let's have a look what else we have. So you have a hatch on top of here that you can open. Let me actually lift this whole panel off so I can open it for you, and you see we have a hatch. So you could point out a minifigure, and you could actually clip it. As you can see, we have the clips where the hatch is stuck at, and you could put a minifigure hand to that, so you can actually let a minifigure poke out if you want of it outside of the hatch if you're interested in this. But look at the work, how this design has been made together. It looks phenomenal. So many pieces are going on. It's going from left to right, and we have even a Technic rod in there that holds all the pieces. We have some ball joints going on. This is masterful work. Going inside to the back, we have some more seats. This time actually some printed panels in here as well. Very nice. No axis as we see in the newest Playscale one. It does have the 2x2 grill pieces over here. Maybe you cannot see it that well, but on both sides they have these grill pieces to act like it's kind of a door. Now with the last feature, which is also a really cool one, we have the loading ramp. Bousker has 3 instructions for a fitting ATRT, because as we see in the Clone Wars, there are ATRTs that come out of these things at the back, and you can actually use this loading ramp by putting ATRT on there. I'm taking it from this, the bottom, as you can see my finger here. I just pull it downwards, and then I can just slide it, and it's using a kind of a hinge system. And there you go. Now it's just on the floor. How cool is that? You can store an ATRT in this design. This is crazy. And also, once again, look at all these parts over here being used. Different angles going on. This is just masterful, crazy work to get all these angles in. Very nice. As you can see here on the bottom from the Bousker ATTE, there are being minifigure hands used on the bottom to replicate a really cool part. There goes the top. It is the safest way to hold here straight in the center, so you can pick it up and of course not tilt it like me, because as I mentioned, gravity holds this part up, so sometimes gravity takes over once again. So I've put all 3 next to each other once again, and before I'm going to the overall comparison, what I think is the best one and what I think should be the best, depending on your situation, I want to quickly say that I've used a different foot design for the Bousker one on the right as on the left. And the reason why is because I couldn't choose which one looks better. In my opinion, the bigger one looks better because the smaller one feels a bit too small to me. That might be just me, but if you look at the 2022 ATTE, we also have a bigger foot compared to the other ones. This one is also bigger, but I don't think it is big enough. So I changed one from someone else, another designer. The designer is on screen now. But as you can see, I think this design of a leg, of a foot, is working way better. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which one you think is the better one. This one on the right is definitely a cheaper one compared to the one on the left. This one is what you get in the original instructions, well, with the top part on top, of course. But I feel like this one takes the cake here. If you were able to buy one of these, which one would you be buying today? I think it really depends on what your budget is, of course, but also what your purpose is of these ones. Because of course you can use them all for display, and of course the one in the center, in my opinion, takes the piece for display. The one on the left, obviously nostalgic, and the one on the right will be for play, I think. But yeah, I think it really depends on your budget. What I really do think is very interesting to know is that these ATTEs are smaller and I think a bit more accurate to its overall design, where the 2008 is a bit too long and could have some shelf issues. So if you want to build an army, I would say go for the 2022 one, because it is smaller, it is more compact, and you can put more on display at the same time. You can also use more of these with mock builds. The 2008 has a bunch of gaps here and there. Both of them are sturdy, but I think the 2022 has also a better interior, a better for your value when it comes to the quantity of minifigures compared to the old one. Plus this one now is definitely hard to get, or very expensive to get at least, compared to the one on the right. So I think that one is really good to get as the overall value. If you have the budget and the money to go for this Bousker ATTE, I really recommend it. I do have a few Star Wars related custom mock builds from different mock designers. I don't have built the other ATTE besides the foot from the other designer, but I really think this one is worth the purchase compared to all these three. If you're doing it for a mock video, like you are a person that is building a big Geonosis, for example, and you want to post it on socials, I think this ATTE is worth the extra budget you will need to get. Wait then with posting, buy this one whenever you have the funds and then post it, because this is definitely looking way better than this one, and that is mostly because of the loading ramp that is still open at the back, but also the way how you can place these legs because it has these the hinge to just go up and down, where this one is way too static and this one is way too big. If you want to go for a nostalgic build, then of course take this one. I think they're all pretty decent for display. They all have their ups and downs. Fragile. This one is cheap, but well, it comes with the not so much like Clone Troopers for some people, and it comes with the visible stud shooters, and this one has a bunch of gaps, and well, it comes with the large stud shooters, but this one also comes with a pretty hefty price tag. So if I would have to take one of these today and the rest would be disassembled, then it's an obvious choice for me. I would disassemble everything except the one from Bousker. I rather use the ATTE for display. I don't necessarily need the ATTE from 2008 nor the 2022, although I must say that I have, again, the 2022 now 3 times. So if I want to RB build, which I kind of wanted to do, I would pick one of the ATTEs as shown here and just go with that. The reason why I don't have the other ATTE displayed here with the Coleman Trevor minifigure is because I do have it, I don't have it built, but it's kind of the same as this one on the right, the 2022 one. It is only, if I'm not mistaken, 2 studs longer than this one, but the build experience is from the inside is different. It is completely different. The outside design is pretty much the same, so if you want to have it for interior as well as exterior, go for the newer one. If you want to have the other one with Coleman Trevor in it, comes with maybe better minifigures in your opinion, then buy the Coleman Trevor one, but the interior was a bit less compared to this one. So I feel like that is kind of it for today's video. I hope you like this comparison. If you wanted to see more comparison videos, let me know in the comments down below which one I actually should do, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you then. Bye.